Hey guys, it's Zoom with World War II Online, Battleground Europe, and today I want to talk to you a little bit about our newest idea of the host squad. So what is a host squad? Every time a new trial is created, it goes into an existing squad of our choice. We determine what squad that is by a rotation schedule, and they meet basic requirements. It's really great because it builds up your squad roster quite a bit. It increases the retention of new players and also populates the battlefield. So as stated, every time a new trial is created, they're going to log in immediately on their first time. They're going to be in your squad. Of course, they're going to be doing their initial entry training. Let them do this. They need it. It will increase their retention, even if they're asking for the command to get through it. I would not encourage you to give it to them until they get through it. So the basic requirements of a host squad: they need to be 6 months as a squad. They need to have an active structure. They need to have a minimum of 5 to 10 active players. They need to be willing to help and direct new players. And the squads must use the CRS TeamSpeak servers. To touch base on that, some of you guys have your own squad TeamSpeak servers. You pay for them. That's fine, but we want the new guys to be centralized, and ideally we'd like all the squads to be, but understanding that there's a feeling of inability to moderate your channels accordingly. Even though that's not the case, we have a lot of new tools in TeamSpeak 3. I understand that, but we want the new guys to be able to access many more people. So I just wanted to cover that real quick. There's going to be a retention increase. How is that? Well, when the interaction from the host squad, anytime that a new person comes in the game, any one of your members online are going to be able to work with them on the spot. That new player is then going to have direction. You can get them on TeamSpeak and engage them that way. That player is going to have greater purpose of what they're doing. The squad, you're going to build your roster. Overall, the server population is going to be well increased, and everyone's going to have a greater gaming experience. So this is a conceptual rotation schedule. As you can see, there's 4 categories here at the top. There's host squad, start date, end date, contact. This is pretty self-explanatory. This is still kind of under development as far as the frequency. We want to be adjusting these squad start and end dates. Because we're getting a significant amount on certain days, we're trying to figure out the best frequency and what days are going to be busier than others. I mean, obviously Friday through Sunday are going to be our booming days, but these trends we got to pay close attention to so we don't overwhelm the squads. The purpose of having a rotation is so that one squad, as I just stated, isn't overwhelmed to such a degree that they fail to effectively interact with these new guys. 2, their squad operations are hurt pretty significantly. And 3, they're just getting to the point, it's just so overwhelming that both parties are failing, and that'll break the concept down, and eventually that'll lead to this whole concept falling apart because we're not managing it effectively. So that's a good idea how that goes right there. Alright, so this is the Weasels versus Host Squad. The Weasels was the initial concept where we had, we had an Allied Weasels, we had an Axis Weasels, and all new trialers, all new signups went into that squad. And the idea there was, it was a neutral squad. We had 2 sides, we had 2 structures, or we had hoped to. We just didn't get enough community support simply because you guys have your loyalties to your squads, and that's cool. This is why we're looking now at the host squad concept, so we can pump new guys into pre-existing squads. We choose pre-existing squads because that's obviously going to have the highest amount of experience in the game and the greatest interaction opportunities. Doesn't mean that like we said, our minimum there is 5 for your squad that's been around for 6 months. So we're not being biased and focusing on the bigger squads. It just means that we're confident that these new guys are going to be engaged. So if you look at the Weasels, there's 4 topics there and same with the host squad. It's directed, not directed, or no direction. Comms is like, yeah, they're responding to you, they're being engaged, they could be on TeamSpeak, and then you have your retention. Now, these are conceptual. This is based off of trends. We have already been using the host squad concept a little bit, so we do have some feedback. And if you look at it closely, you're going to notice that, the direction, the top one, it's pretty significant versus no direction. When people are directed, obviously those retention rates are going to increase quite dramatically. So if you look at the retention there, it's kind of grayish. Have a peek. It's a big difference. The communications, it's kind of the same, but we have been noticing a lot more people, new trialers on TeamSpeak. This is going to increase retention as well, and it is going to increase direction because you can interact with them a lot better. Probably the most noticeable difference you'll see between the Weasels concept and the host squad is player engagement. The small fraction on the left, piece of the pie there, is engaged. Now, why is that? If you look off to the right, whoa, look at all that engagement with the host squad. Where are you coming up with these numbers? Well, it's pretty easy to follow. It doesn't really even require charts or any sort of data. Of course, we're gathering that. Of course, we're interacting with the host squads to get a greater idea. But think of it like this. We've already got pre-existing squads. They are going to have people who are online, who are invested to the concept, who really want to see the community succeed, and they understand the basics of our text communication game, so they know to interact with these new people. When you look at the squad roster, which these host squad members are, they'll notice, hey, someone's different here. Hey, they're kind of off on their own deal. I've never heard of that name. They're going to go talk to them. They're going to go private message them and engage them. Literally overnight, we're going to be increasing our help 150+%. So it brings it home, this concept with the new player engagement. Also with the new player retention, you see there the blue is the Weasels and the host squad. There's a mega difference. How is this being come about? How do you get these numbers? Well, very simply, directing people increases retention. We have such a wide array of things to do in the game that directed gameplay to a degree by players is necessary, and it always has been. So now these guys are going to be inside your squad. They're going to see your communications. They're going to see that mission command, and they're going to get involved. If they don't know how to do it, they're going to talk to you. They're going to click on the squads tab, click your name, and join your mission. So we're really expanding that retention capacity quite significantly. If you want to get involved and make the difference, we encourage you to email agm@playnut.com. We've had quite a few inquiries so far, and this video is designed to kind of help you make that transition to understand things better. So any questions are welcome as well. You can also like us on Facebook for quick access to game info. We've got about 3,300 plus people on there. We're trying to push this a little bit more because we have a lot of important updates that go out, some of which they may not be easily accessible on the website. So any official announcements, this will be a great opportunity. Thanks again for watching, and take care.